With Rina Shah, who is a political advisor and commentator. She joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Rina, we are just hearing from the U.S. president himself talking in the last few moments. Clearly, he says, not intending to engineer a market sell-off. Stock market futures, by the way, now looking likely to indicate further malaise as we kick off the week in a few hours. But also that he doesn't want to solve things with China specifically unless they solve the issue of trade deficits. As we heard from Andy there is a lot of confusion over exactly what the goal is of these tariffs and what the conditions would be in order to get rid of them. Is that a fair assessment?
The confusion around the tariffs isn't just happening outside the borders of the United States. It's happening right here within the United States and with people from coast to coast and with Republicans as well. One thing we ought to note here is that Trump's team thrives on disruption, and they likely saw this as a feature and not a bug. So what they expected was pushback from trade partners like China and the EU, but the sheer scale with dozens of countries retaliating might have caught them off guard here. Their America First playbook underestimated how fast global alliances would rally against these tariffs. It's a classic miscalculation of overreach.
Yeah, I mean, just on the stock market thing quickly, I realize you're a political commentator. Look, Donald Trump has been pretty clear in the past how much he valued the importance of stock market performance as an indicator of approval or disapproval. Now he has changed his tune. If we continue to see the sort of sell-off that we have been seeing over the last few days, as it seems we might, is there any sense that he might at some point begin to feel pressure coming from there, if not from the other parts of the United States domestic political?
Well, the term with the financiers is always there will be blood, right? And in the streets, I think what we saw with the markets in free fall last week should have really been a wake up call to President Trump. But people say that there are a few things happening here. Maybe he wants the markets to dip so low that his friends can buy. There's also another school of thought that's rampant in Washington is that, Trump and the Republicans want to crash everything and start from scratch. At the end of the day, whether you're an economist or not, you can say here safely that this is not a good look for this administration, particularly as we have midterms approaching in 2026. If this turmoil continues and we hit a recession by June, Trump and his people don't look too smart. But if they are able to rebuild in Q3, Q4, and which is what I think they're hoping for, that is what they are hoping will make them look pretty and really make them look like the saviors.
Yeah, Rina, just on that, we have heard from some Republicans, Ted Cruz among them, for instance, talking about this concern about the midterms and about this idea that if they push things as hard as they seem to be at the moment, that it could really create problems for them in 2026. At what point would you start to expect to see more of this pushback from other Republicans and possibly more senior Republicans as well?
Well, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas is pretty senior. And with him sounding the alarm, that's a huge red flag. Republicans aren't used to breaking ranks very easily, and definitely not this early. So the pushback will grow if tariffs tank jobs or spark a recession by the 2026 midterms. I've advised Republican representatives that party unity crumbles when constituents feel the pinch. So, what we ought to be doing right now for everyone is watching people like Senators Mitch McConnell of Kentucky or Senator Lisa Murkowski to quietly pile on if Wall Street keeps bleeding.
All right, thank you so much for that. Rina Shah there for us, a political advisor and commentator live from Washington, D.C.
Thank you.